Kwai kwai minani donbaku. I'd like to go over rhythm and melody really quickly with you. Just a nice review, a recap, as we did discuss it during orientation. We don't want to stress too much on it, but we want to keep it in mind because when we accent, when we put that pitch, mili, on the end of a word, it lets people know we're done saying it. In this case, we just have two syllables, mili, give me something, give me it, mili, mili, mili. So we see mili, stress on the end, mili. Just like sata, sata, mili reminded us of that sound spell word, mili, and sata is our second sound spell word for not the I, but the A, sata, sata, sata. Just like kitsi, big, great, old, ancient. The first sound is quite silent in comparison to the next one because it's just two syllables. So here, kitsi, sata, mili, mili. The stress is right here on the end, mili, sata, blueberry. Next, we have a three-syllable word, udana, 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 and here we count back 1, 2, and 3. Udana, and we have a stress here and a stress here at the end. Udana, udana. And breaking it down by syllables, there's the three syllables. U, sometimes said o, udana, 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 a village or a town. Udana. Next, we have four-syllable word, study, learn, or literally teach yourself. Self is Z at the end. Aga kimzi. Aga kimzi. Aga kimzi. I'm going to break it up into two here. It's a nice trick. We're going to say aga kimzi. Aga kimzi. Or we could break it up by syllable. We have all four. Aga rises, kimzi. And as was mentioned during orientation, this is not so much like the mi-li I, it's a little bit more kim, kim. Perhaps because it is stuck between these two stress sounds, gets tightened, or maybe just because there's an M after it, and danwa damwon. But we do say this aga kimzi. Aga kimzi, aga kimzi, stress on the ga, stress on the z, pitch rise, aga kimzi. Study. The more we study kakasui, the better we get. Wizukami. We don't know, ask for help. Wizukami, help me. Wizukami. Just like mili. Same sound at the end. Wizukami. And like udana, this O could be more like wizokami. The J is that DZ sound. Wizu could be widu, a little bit of a G, but more DZ. Wizukami. And our stress is on the third from the last syllable and the final syllable. Zu and mi. Wizukami. Help me. Wizukami. Next we have wigyak. This one is a little tricky, covers some sound spell and pronunciation that we mentioned. Wigyak. The K ends tight, but ia is a cluster of two vowels called a diphthong. These are combined as one sound. So this is all one syllable, gyak. So just like kitsi, we have wigyak, wigyak. We don't break this up. We keep it as one. We get wigyak, wigyak. Kind of slides together. Wigyak. Where we live, wigyak. Now keeping in mind, it goes in the tricky sounds. If I added a W, nothing changes with pronunciation. Wigyak. I just circle my lips. Wigyak, wigyak. Changing the meaning to where we all live, or where all of you live. Wigyak. Wigyak. Still like kitsi, or sata, or mili. Two syllables. Wigyak. This one just happens to be an I followed by an A. And speaking of where we all live, or Wigyak, many of us have lived, Lake Champlain, Bitaobaku, another at the end, this time with a G, which we didn't discuss. GW is just like a KW. Bag, bag, bag. There's very little distinction between the G and the K, but the stress in this case is this final syllable. Bag, bag. And then we have tau. AW is another diphthong, so this is counted together, and P. Pi tau bak. Pi tau bak. Pi tau bak. Lake Champlain, or the water in between. Pi tau bak. Ulioni ni bak. I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions, please post them in the discussion. Ulioni.